What is up, guys? Oh my God. That was the single greatest night of fights I've ever seen, period. Minus the Aljamain Sterling fight. But that even wasn't that bad. But I got some thoughts about that, the referee, and there's a judge by the name of Adelaine Bird. This chick has no idea what she's talking about. Oh, and a fighter punched a fan on the walk-in. True story, it happened. But we'll get into all that and more. Hey guys, thank you to VeChain. They gave me incredible access for this event. I got to meet Gilbert Burns, RoboCop. It's just cool. Check out VeChain. The VeChain guys are a new sponsor of the UFC, and you're gonna see this stuff everywhere. I went to their whole presentation. They are changing the world with logistics. That and crypto. So, all right guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
I'm gonna start with the BMF fight. That was the baddest fight I've ever seen. You wanna talk about two dudes who put their own health and welfare aside and went in and flat threw down. That stadium erupted. Everybody loved both guys. And what Max Holloway did at the end, and it was funny, I saw Dana White's press conference. Just so you know, I said this to my buddy right after the fight. I go, that's movie shit. And if you had it in a movie, it wouldn't be for real. So I was disappointed when Dana said it because people are going to think I copied him. I didn't. I swear to God. That's what I said right after. I was like, who on earth goes in there way up on the scorecards with 10 seconds and says, let's just throw down and see who's still standing? Nobody. Max Holloway. This is legendary. He's on the Conor McGregor level. Now, if Conor can get by Chandler, there's your fight right there. You got Conor versus Max for the BMF title. Boom, rematch. And I will say, when I watch it on TV, you never see how long guys are out unconscious after the fight. Man, I was scared. Everyone was celebrating, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit scared for Justin Gaethje. He went down, bounced, and then he was twitching, and he was down for a good 5 minutes. Even when he finally he didn't get up. They postponed it a little bit to kind of let him get up. He didn't know anything. He was so out of it. That's one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen. But damn, what a warrior. And I'm glad that those guys both got bonuses and that Max got 2 bonuses. They earned every penny. I don't know where Gaethje goes from here, but I hope he just kind of sits out maybe 6 months, 8 months, because that was gruesome. You can't shut the brain off like that without having some serious consequences. Another fight that I really loved was Yuri Prohaska versus Rakic. Is that how you say it, Rakic? Anyway, that fight was, those two dudes, to see two gigantic 205-pounders out there literally trying to take each other's head and put it in the front row and hearing the thuds. I mean, I was probably 16 rows up and you could hear the thuds. I have no idea how Yuri was taking the punches from Alexander. It was nasty. I mean, and then when he finally got him, holy crap, that was crazy. I want to see Yuri take on Ankalaev for the title because Ankalaev, he's still out there. He's kind of a boring fighter, but Yuri will bring a good fight out of him. I think with Yuri, I think he's got a different kind of battle. The reason I say that is because I want to see Pereira take on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall was in the front row right by where they go into the cage and he was staring down. And I think he might have celebrated when he heard Alex say he wants to go to heavyweight. Now he's got himself a rival. That's a great fight. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I want to see that 100 times more than I want to see an old Stipe fight an old John Jones. I would be okay with John Jones fighting either Tom or Pereira, but I'm sorry, guys. The Stipe John thing, are we doing is this like an old timers fight? I just don't want to see it. So I told a lot of you guys that Jamal Hill had a bad camp. And I didn't know specifically what the problem was, but I told you guys he wasn't throwing kicks. Well, he had a broken toe. You find out later on. I told my buddy AJ from VeChain, I said, don't bet on Jamal. I'm telling you, he had a bad camp. Sorry, AJ bet on him anyway. Come on, man. But anyway, AJ lost his money, but what a great night of fights. It was ridiculous. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of the negative stuff. The Charles Oliveria versus Arman Tsarukyan. I think that's how you say it, Tsarukyan. Somebody spelled it out phonetically. I think that's how it goes. That was a great fight. Charles won the fight. I don't care what the judges say. Charles won that fight. He won the first and the third. He didn't win the second. But did you guys see the fight Arman had on the way to the cage? Are we just going to gloss over the fact that he punched a fan and was going to go after another one? This dude's a lunatic. Like, he's an absolute lunatic. And I'm all for being a lunatic, but you cannot punch the fans no matter what they say. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I booed a little bit too. It's fun to boo. You pay a whole bunch of money to be at these events. You need to be involved. You can't yell disrespectful stuff or family stuff, and maybe that's what somebody did, but that still doesn't justify a professional fighter punching a paying customer. Arman, come on, you can't do that. That's ridiculous. And the judging on that fight. Now, it was pretty close. I scored it for Charles, and I still think Charles won the fight. The problem I have is Adelaide Bird. Adelaide Bird is a corrupt boxing judge. This chick doesn't know anything about MMA. Why? Why is she judging anything, let alone MMA? She has no idea what she's talking about. When I heard the scorecard with her name on it, I was like, oh my God. Like, can somebody please investigate her? Not only is she an idiot, she's actually corrupt. So it's worse than just being dumb. So Adelaide Bird, what are you doing out there? Like, why is the commission even rolling her dumb ass out there? Does she have dirt on somebody? I don't know what's going on. While I'm bitching about the commission, I'm going to talk about Jason Herzog. Typically, he's a pretty good referee. And I'm very critical of the referees because while I've never fought MMA, I've reffed. It's a difficult job. But he had a bad weekend. Herzog's a good ref. And I don't want to see him get the Yamasaki or the treatment where he gets banned. But he needs to take a second and reevaluate his judgment. He let Wolverine at the slap fights, walking sideways towards him, keep going. He called a foul when there wasn't a foul. He just was off. He had a horrible weekend. I might have heckled him a little bit at the power slap, but it's power slap, man. Anything goes there. At the fights, he let Yan get choked unconscious. Unconscious. That's it. Fight's over. Once someone loses consciousness, when she woke up at the end of that first round against Wei Li, that fight's over. And then he lets her get bludgeoned. I mean, there were people all around us who were cheering for Yan, who were like, please stop the fight. He let her go because she's a warrior. But you have to have someone in there who's willing to protect them. Yes, it would have been an unpopular decision to stop that fight when she was getting walloped. But that's the job. You signed up to protect the fighters. They can't have the quit attitude. They will never quit. They don't want to quit. Nor do we want fighters that want to quit. That's why we have referees to protect them from stupid stuff. And Herzog failed miserably from Friday to Saturday. Did I mention Aljo spiked Calvin Kadar? You cannot spike a guy. The rule states that you can drop someone on their head if they've got a submission. If they've got a submission, you can pull them up and slam them on their head because they have the choice to let go of that submission unless you drop them on their head. He straight power bombed him. There was no submission. That should have been an instant. That's the same as kicking, a downed opponent in the face. It's bad. They should have paused it, taken a point. It was ridiculous. But yeah, Herzog, mistake after mistake after mistake. Hopefully he gets his shit together because he sucked. Then the last thing that people were debating is, in the final fight, Jamal Hill came in there, kicked Pereira right in the nuts, or close to the nuts. Clearly, it didn't bother Alex. Herb jumped in he was going to go break it up. Alex waved him off. Everyone's like, oh, it distracted Jamal Hill, and that's why he got knocked out. I don't think so. Jamal Hill's the guy that kicked him in the nuts. You fouled, so you're going to go ahead and say you got the bad end of the foul. No, you just kicked a dude in the nuts. Be ready. Don't be pissed that dude waved it off because maybe you were trying to get space, or was it an intentional nut kick? Is that why he's pissed? I don't know. But there's a lot of reasons Jamal lost this fight. Herb Dean isn't one of them. I don't know. Jamal's a tough dude, but I just don't think he was ready for this fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Ankalaev, but I would rather see him against Alexander Rakic, whatever. Sorry, guys, I suck at names. I'll work on it. If somebody can spell it out phonetically, I'd appreciate it. Alexander Rakic versus Jamal Hill. Two guys that are badasses at the top of the food chain, and they both got beat up pretty bad. But I would like to see those two, and then the winner goes back into kind of contention, and then the loser kind of goes out. But anyway, guys, thank you for everything. Thank you to V-Chain for the incredible access. I got so much footage and so much more to talk about this week. I'm going to talk about Power Slap. I'm going to try and get a hold of Wolverine. I met him after the fights. What a great dude. So anyway, thanks guys. Later. Wolverine, man. Surviving, dude. You're fucking badass with the legend, with the boots, dude. Yeah.